You know, in the crypto world, things move so incredibly fast, it's kind of tough to keep up with who's actually building things versus who's just making noise. So today, we're going to take a real pulse check on the Cardano ecosystem. We're looking at everything from the core nuts and bolts and the ambitious new projects to the hard numbers and, of course, the people who make it all tick.
And this quote from the team at Strike Finance, man, it just nails the vibe right now. The key isn't just that stuff is being built. The real story is that these are projects good enough to earn global attention. That's the theme we're going to see play out today. Real, tangible progress. So, here's the game plan for our little tour. We're going to start with the builders, the folks literally keeping the lights on. Then we'll look ahead to new frontiers, checking out some massive launches and roadmaps. After that, we dive into the numbers, because you got to see the data. And we'll wrap it all up with the community, the actual human engine behind all of this. All right, so first up, the builders. Look, this is that crucial nuts and bolts work that nobody really sees, but everything, and I mean everything, depends on it. It's the plumbing, the electrical grid of this digital city. It has to work flawlessly.
And there is some serious work getting done. Let's do a quick rapid fire, see what's happening. First, Danogo Finance. Critical node upgrade? Done. Services are humming along perfectly.
Next up, Atom Services. Another really core piece of the puzzle is scaled up and fully restored. Boom! Another essential service back online, and even stronger than before. But let's be real. Building this kind of cutting-edge tech is never a straight line, right? There are always bumps in the road. And the true measure of a project isn't just that they have wins, it's how they handle things when they hit a snag.
So check out what happened with Strike Finance. They hit a synchronization issue. And instead of going dark or making excuses, what did they do? They were totally open about it. They got on there, communicated directly, and just started grinding through support tickets one by one. That is how you build unshakable trust.
And get this, they're not just putting a Band-Aid on it. They're using this as a chance to build a massively better V2. They're moving the core matching engine off-chain to make it faster. They've already finished smart contracts to bridge over to Ethereum and Solana, plus they're rolling out a tougher Oracle system. The bottom line here is, they took a problem and turned it into a massive leap forward.
So all that foundational work, right? It's like laying the concrete and steel so you can start building the really cool stuff, the skyscrapers. And that brings us to our next section, new frontiers. We're shifting from maintenance to pure creation. And just look at the sheer ambition here with the Atlas Protocol's roadmap. This is a long-term play. They start with their core function on Cardano, but then step by step they start expanding outward. They pull in other assets, they plug into Cardano's privacy chain for the big institutions, they add a whole suite of new DeFi tools, and the final goal? To go beyond Cardano and be chain agnostic. This is a blueprint for a true DeFi powerhouse.
And this slide just perfectly captures the two kinds of energy buzzing in the ecosystem. On one side, you have that grand, strategic, multi-year vision of Atlas. And on the other, you have the immediate, heart-pounding, right here, right now excitement of a project like Pulse.
Yep, you heard that right. We're not talking months or weeks. We are literally hours away from Pulse going live on the mainnet. It's about to drop Cardano's very first yield trading platform. You can practically feel the countdown timer ticking.
And this isn't some chaotic rush to the finish line either. Just look at this pre-launch checklist. They're running a buyback, putting the final touches on an internal audit, making sure their data shows up right on tracking tools, and communicating a super clear strategy. This is what a professional, buttoned-up launch looks like.
All this building, all these launches, it's awesome. But what does it all add up to? Does it actually move the needle? Well, that brings us to our third stop, the numbers. This is where we see if all that hard work is paying off with real growth.
Okay, let's start with something you can almost touch. World Mobile now has over 2,200 active air nodes. These aren't just pixels on a screen, folks. This is actual physical hardware out in the real world, connecting people, all powered by Cardano. Now let's talk money. Total Value Locked, or TVL. Strike Finance, remember them from earlier? They're closing in on 12 million ADA locked up in their protocol. And look, that's a huge number on its own, but wait till you see the story behind the number. It's even more impressive.
So here's the kicker. As part of a builder program, their 6-month goal was 6 million ADA in TVL. And this chart, well, it tells the whole story. They didn't just hit their target, they blew right past it, they doubled it. That's not just delivering, that is knocking it clean out of the park.
And this growth isn't just a Strike Finance story either. Other protocols are on the move. You got Surf just steadily climbing the leaderboards, getting super close to grabbing that number 3 spot. And maybe the most important part, their team confirmed they have a war chest to keep building for years. This isn't a flash in the pan. It's sustainable.
All right, so we've talked code, we've talked roadmaps, we've talked capital, but what about the people? That's the final and maybe most important piece of the puzzle. This is the human element, the lifeblood of the digital city, and everyone's approach to building a community is a little different.
First up, let's look at Pavia's strategy. It's really mature and disciplined. Their whole philosophy is show, don't tell. Build the thing, prove it works, and then start talking about it. It's all about earning trust the old-fashioned way, by delivering.
Okay, now get ready for a complete 180. A totally different flavor of community building that could not be more different from Pavia's quiet, heads-down style.
The Perps project is going a totally different route. It's all about gamification, deep lore, a whole narrative. They've created these wild factions, the Astroschism, the Crashers, the Genovault, and they're basically saying to their community, pick a side, get ready for war. This is community engagement as an epic story. 2 completely opposite strategies, and both are working.
So, when you put it all together, you've got the diligent builders keeping the lights on, the visionaries drawing up these incredible blueprints, the numbers proving it's all working, and these vibrant communities bringing it to life. It really makes you wonder, right? With all of those pieces aligned and firing on all cylinders, the question isn't if another big milestone is coming, but what will it be?
And that's our pulse check on the Cardano ecosystem. It's pretty clear the heart of this network is beating strong with innovation, real growth, and a passionate community. Thanks so much for tuning in.